More drama today in the preliminary hearing in the murder trial of Larry Millete. Actually, the preliminary hearing that could lead to the murder trial. Maya's brother and sister were on the stand. Shannon Handy joins us live now with what they shared and when a judge could decide if this case does go to trial. Shannon?
Yeah, another long day of testimony on the stand, Marcella. We've had a crew inside the courtroom all day. It was reportedly tense as the defense questioned Maya's brother and sister about her character, including an alleged affair. We also heard what happened when her siblings showed up to her house looking for her after she went missing.
He told me that Maya might be leaving him, and he asked me to help him, basically try to convince her to not.
During day 3 of the preliminary hearing against Larry Millete, Maya Millete's younger brother, JR, said he knew she and Larry were having marital problems in early 2020, a year before she went missing. He testified Larry would often call him, sometimes up to 5 times a day, to talk about it. Maya had also reached out to JR. Prosecutors unveiled a text exchange between the siblings, showing Maya complain about Larry being too controlling and mentally abusive.
He never lets me be by myself. He checks all my emails, messages, messengers, FB posts.
While on the stand, JR was also asked about what happened the day Maya went missing. He said after not hearing from her, he went to the Chula Vista house she shared with Larry and explained what happened when one of their 3 kids opened the door.
I asked her, "Where's your mom?" And then she said, she's been locked in her room for 11 hours now, and she hasn't fed us.
JR said Larry was home at the time, telling him he had just gotten home from work. He noted Larry was wearing board shorts, not his usual work attire. JR testified he knocked on Maya's bedroom door, but no one answered.
It seemed dark, and it seemed like nobody was in there.
He then saw one of her daughters attempt to enter the room as well.
I could see her running across the hall towards the bedroom door and basically kicking the door pretty hard.
Maya's sister, Maricris, also took the stand again. She too went to Larry and Maya's home. Aside from recounting the days after she went missing, during cross-examination, Larry's attorney asked Maricris about Maya's drinking and alleged affair, telling the judge the questions were related to changes Maya exhibited before she went missing.
Were you aware that Miss Millete was out drinking at least 3 times a week in downtown bars? Did you believe that your sister was having an affair at that time?
No, I don't.
Now, Maya's body has never been found. The defense maintains she left home on her own. There was a lot more to today's testimony, including a road trip Maya took with her brother and his family. He says every time they'd stop the car, Larry would call Maya, alluding he may have been tracking her. The preliminary hearing continues Monday and is expected to last another week, at which point a judge will decide if there's enough evidence to go to trial. And Marcella, this is very difficult for the families. You can imagine at one point they asked the brother there, who we really haven't heard from in the media. We usually hear from the sister. They said, "Is this difficult?" And he said yes, because he's a pretty private person. So to have to talk about his sister in this way and go through their text messages, right, and to have the defense question her character was clearly difficult for him.
Those text messages pretty telling, though, of Maya's state of mind. And he even testified that it was odd that she would tell him all those things because they're a private family, which goes to your point.
Exactly. She never, or he said she would rarely talk about her marriage, but it got to the point where she was unhappy. In fact, she lived with him and his family for 6 weeks before she went missing, well before she went missing, because she had told him she wanted to separate from Larry, and then she moved back home. And now here we are. So we'll see what happens next week in court.
Day 3 of what's expected to be a couple-week preliminary hearing. Monday, a holiday, so they'll resume Tuesday at 9 a.m. I know we'll stay on top of this case, and we'll bring it to you, all the developments. Thanks so much, Shannon.
Yeah.